Thank you all for being here. We have partners and service providers and council members, Councilmember Valdemoros and Councilmember Petra Eschler. Thank you for joining us this morning. And our partners at the VOA, at the Road Home, also with the Benyon Center at University of Utah and the United Way, among other partnerships, are calling today and requesting that the public help us by stepping up to fill 100 staffing vacancies among the 3 service providers, and also through volunteer efforts at all of our homeless resource centers, and many of which specifically are needed in order to open the winter overflow shelter that is nearing the end of its preparation to open the doors. There are people sleeping on our streets last night and tonight who could be in this shelter if the Road Home were able to have enough applicants qualified for staffing it and keeping the facility safe and running. So we're standing before you today recognizing these 100 staffing positions and the call for Volunteers of America, Utah, the Road Home, and for Utah Community Action, who all desperately need these people to be able to run the facilities adequately and safely for those who need the services. We know that our providers are really deeply committed to doing this work, providing clothing and food and a warm place to sleep, case management, access to housing. We also know that we have commitments from the city, the county, and the state to fund these operations, as we've seen the Ramada Inn come under contract for the temporary winter overflow operation and for the operations of the homeless resource centers. And so our call out is really asking our public, if you can and if you have the time, to consider applying for the jobs with the homeless resource center providers and the winter overflow shelter providers so that they can be staffed and open their doors and serve this desperate need in the humanitarian crisis that Utah's facing. We're going to hear from Amanda Christensen, who is the Division Director at Adult Homeless Services with Volunteers of America, Utah, followed by Michelle Flynn, our Executive Director for the Road Home. And in the press release, we have links to the 3 organizations' listings for volunteers and for the job descriptions. And those job descriptions really run quite a spectrum, many of which, as I mentioned, are for the winter overflow shelter. Some of them are for the full-time 365-day shelters. Some of them are intake, case management, staffing with supportive services. So there's quite a spectrum of skills and availability there. I just want to finish my part by thanking our service providers and our community partners. The Road Home and Volunteers of America and Utah Community Action do this work 365 days a year, and there is a critical need right now. We know that another winter storm is on its way here, and we know that there are people sleeping on the streets who could have access to these shelters if there were enough positions. Our friends at the Benyon Center at the University of Utah and at United Way will be helping amplify this need through their communication networks. Salt Lake City will be doing so, and we ask any other organizations, religious organizations, social help institutions, corporations, to step up with their own volunteer hours and casting the net for the staffing needs to their communication networks to help get this word out there. We are a city, we are a state known for volunteerism and for supporting each other. This need is great, and it is acute, and it is acutely described by our service providers today. So please hear their call and help us to be able to open the doors to the winter shelter sooner than they're currently on track to do. I'll turn the time over to Amanda. Thank you.
Hello. First, I would like to thank the mayor for bringing us here today to speak about this critical issue. Volunteers of America, like many other providers, some of whom are here today, is struggling to find needed employees to help serve Salt Lake County's most vulnerable populations. We need to fill approximately 8 full-time positions to operate the temporary winter overflow program based out of the Wiegand Center that will shelter those in need during the coldest months of the year. Currently, we have 40 vacant positions within our organization, 22 of these positions are within our Geraldine E. King Women's Resource Center that provides shelter to 200 women. One of these positions is with our homeless outreach team that serves the unsheltered population on the streets of Salt Lake County. 6 of these positions are within our Youth Resource Center serving homeless youth. And we have many other unfulfilled positions in our detox facilities, counseling centers, and on our treatment teams. If you would like to know more about any of these positions, and if you would like to know more about how you can make a positive impact, please visit our website at voaut.org. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to echo Amanda's thanks, of course, to Mayor Mendenhall and to our City Council who have shown such commitment to make sure that we have enough shelter for those who are in need in our community. As mentioned, we have open positions for the additional overflow facility on our website. These are great positions. They are full-time permanent positions at the road home. We welcome people to come and join our team to serve 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at these facilities, as well as provide case management. And I want to encourage people of all diverse backgrounds to apply. Sometimes people think they're not qualified for these kinds of positions. What we're looking for is people who care and people who want to come to the table and help provide these services, work in a very supportive team, and ensure that our community can provide that shelter and be welcoming to those who are in need this winter. So we have about 30 positions open for the overflow program and about 40 additional positions in our other year-round overflow resource centers, as well as our housing programs. Again, I welcome all to apply to work at the road home and support our work across our entire program system. Thank you.